Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm vlogging from sunny California, but I just got back from chilly Iceland. I wanted to do a video about my upcoming video series about Iceland to just basically share with you guys a little bit of our footage, talk about what we've been doing, and just catch you up on everything because I've been kind of gone for a while. And I know I just posted a video the other day with a what I eat in the day in Iceland, and it was like at the end of the trip, and I was just like, there's so much this trip I have to share with everyone, but I have like, I think something like 100 gigs in footage to go through. So there's a lot of footage coming your way. But I wanted to talk a little bit about our trip and basically share with you guys a little preview of what's to come with our travel content. Five weeks ago, me and Keith were hanging out and we said, we have to go on a trip. It's been a while and we need to do something spontaneous. So I went on Google Flights and I started looking up different parts of the world. I looked at like Africa, Asia, Europe, and I was kind of my heart was set on going to Madeira, I think it's called, and it's in Portugal, it's an island. And I also was set on going to Norway, which is kind of opposite of that. It's like cold and north. And it just started to get kind of complicated for, giving myself 3 days notice to travel, to try to figure out Wi-Fi hotspots, rent a car, hotels, Airbnb and all that. And flights were kind of confusing. I had to take multiple flights to get into Europe. So I just said, you know what, let's just go someplace we've been before, something that's familiar, and just chill out. So I booked tickets to go to Iceland, and that's what we did. So we got on a plane. I think it was on the plane that I reserved our Wi-Fi hotspot, or I got information about that. I booked our rent-a-car, and I booked our first night at booking.com hotel, and then nothing else was planned. So we did this, the most spontaneous trip we've ever done, but because we've been to Iceland before, it was really easy to do it. We trusted that everything would kind of fall into place. I know from visiting there that there are tons of farm stays, VRBOs, even hostels just all over the country. And I figured that because I've done that before and I knew that it would be super easy. And it really was. Once we landed, you walk right out, you go through customs, it's like 5 minutes. We got juices at the juice spot, and then we started our adventure. We got into our hotel. We actually broke our, what is it called? Our converter within like 5 minutes and of getting into our hotel room, and had to borrow some from the hotel, which was funny because we learned all you need is I think it's an adapter for even our computers and phones and everything like that. We didn't need this massive converter adapter that we bought that just broke within 5 minutes, so keep that in mind. And we just went off on an adventure. My sister flew out the next day, met us at our hotel, and she just came along for this spontaneous journey. So we went and we drove all the way north to the top part of Iceland in Akureyri, because the last time we were there, we were south in Reykjavik and South Iceland, which is like where you see the black sand beach and all those famous waterfalls and stuff. We wanted to go further north and see what the north had to offer. And I booked a random little cabin that was on a lake in a small fishing village in North Iceland in a town called like Ola Fishfisher or something. It was just the most beautiful place, except it smelled kind of like salmon. But it was an absolutely gorgeous place. My sister loved it. We kayaked around the lake. When we got there, it was 42 degrees outside. 42 degrees. It's crazy cold. So we had to wear our winter stuff and switch into winter gear right away. Within like I think a day, Megan got sick, my sister, and had a really bad cold, but she was a trooper and stuck through it. We did a whale watching tour. We did the Golden Circle of the North, which stops in like hot springs and geysers and has waterfalls and all that stuff, and had the most amazing time ever. It was a wonderful, wonderful trip. And then we drove back down south in hopes that we'd be able to see some northern lights and share with my sister some more of the south part of Iceland. So I did another spontaneous booking like the day we were checking out of our Airbnb, and I found this awesome house on booking.com that was actually a 2-story house that sleeps probably like 8 to 10 people, and I got it for an extremely amazing price. The people were really nice that worked there or that owned it and gave me a great deal. So we stayed in this gorgeous house right on the ocean, and I think it was like our second day. We went and did the Golden Circle tour of the south, where we went to the hot spring, the geyser, the giant waterfall, and then on our way back, we were looking up in the sky and we noticed it was clear out. We started to see stars, and then all of a sudden there was this little green streak, and I knew we were seeing the northern lights, and my sister was freaking out. She was so excited, and we had to pull over on the side of the road. We got so excited that we almost got lost and almost drove to the wrong city. So that was kind of crazy, but we went all the way back to our place, and by the time we got there, there were so many northern lights around the sky that it was just mind-blowing. You didn't know which direction to look at. Like, I looked all the way to the right, and there were northern lights over one city. Looked all the way to the left, there was northern lights over the other. Looked behind the house, there were ones right overhead. And then the ones from over the ocean came over the sea and covered the entire sky above our heads. I couldn't believe it. The sky went from absolutely clear with tons of stars to being covered in this green haze that was moving around like hands playing a piano. It was just mind-blowing. And I think we stood out there in 42 degrees cold with our socks on for like an hour just staring up at the sky. After a while, the sky started to open up, and there was like this huge shape of a dove overhead, and everything else was northern light around it. It just looked like it was God just being like, hey, I'm here. And I just felt so at peace. It was crazy. My sister was gonna go home 2 days before that, and we extended her trip, so it was like a miracle that we saw northern lights, because every other night it was cloudy, which is pretty much, I think, typical for Iceland. You never know what kind of weather you're gonna get. It's not like California, where it's sunny every day. So we had absolutely beautiful night viewing the northern lights, and then my sister flew back and me and Keith extended our trip. So that will come in a future vlog. There's so much more about this trip that I can't wait to share with you guys. We did so many amazing things, saw so many wonderful sights, and did it for a really reasonable price. So there's a lot of vlogs to come about that. So that's been what we've been doing. That was our trip to Iceland. I'm going to share some clips in this video from our travel. So now we're basically just hanging out in California. We'll be here for I think 2 weeks, and then we go back to New York. In California, we're looking for things to do, so if you guys have any suggestions for places to visit, adventures to take, hikes to do, feel free to leave it in a comment below. My vlogging camera broke, so I'm going to be trying to work with this. I'm using a 5D Mark II to record this video right now. I don't know how it's going to come out, but we'll see. So thanks for watching, guys. I can't wait to share our Iceland video with you. I'll see you next time. Bye!